Most men don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they live in the gap between wanting and doing. They want discipline, they want strength, they want structure, they want respect. But wanting is clean and doing is uncomfortable. And most never cross that line. The gap feels productive. You plan, you research, you think about starting. You imagine that version of you who wakes up early, who trains hard, who builds something real. And that imagination gives you a small dopamine hit. It feels like movement, but it's not movement. It's rehearsal without execution. And the longer you live there, the more your identity becomes someone who almost started, almost committed, almost followed through. The gap doesn't destroy you loudly, it erodes you quietly. Here's the truth. The gap protects your ego. As long as you haven't started, you can still believe you'd have been great. You can say, I could have done that. I would have been disciplined. I just hadn't had time. But the moment you act, now it's measurable. Now it's uncomfortable. Now you risk finding out where you actually stand. And so many men choose that fantasy over feedback. Because fantasy protects pride. Action exposes reality. And here's what most people misunderstand. You don't think your way into a new identity. You behave your way into one. Identity isn't declared, it's demonstrated. You become more disciplined the moment you act disciplined, especially when you don't feel like it. You build confidence the moment you keep your word to yourself. You build self-trust the moment you do the thing you said you would do without applause. Not when it's convenient, not when it's motivational, when it's quiet, when it's uncomfortable, when no one's watching. That's where identity is forged. The gap doesn't hurt today. It hurts later. It hurts when you look back and realize the man you imagined never existed. Because imagination without execution becomes regret, my brother. 5 years from now, you won't regret the early mornings. You won't regret the workouts. You won't regret the uncomfortable conversations. You'll regret the hesitation, the waiting, the endless, I'll start Monday. Time doesn't punish you. It reveals you. Closing the gap is not dramatic. It's simple. You decide, and then you act before your emotions vote. Not tomorrow, not after more planning. Today. You don't need a new routine. You need one action. One task you've been postponing. One move that makes you slightly uncomfortable. Do that. Then repeat it tomorrow. Identity stacks daily, not yearly. Most men live in the gap. Few step into it. And the ones who step into it, they build something real. If you're done living in almost, choose one gap today. Then come back tomorrow. We build from there. Jockey out.